What if the history of our world is wrong? Pyramids hidden under 2 miles of ice. Ancient maps showing forests where there should be glaciers. And a massive military fleet sent to the edge of the world, only to retreat in silence. The ice is melting. The secrets are surfacing. Welcome to the true mystery of Antarctica. Antarctica, the last frontier, a continent of superlatives, the coldest, driest, highest, and most remote place on Earth. It is a land of pristine, almost alien beauty, locked under an ice sheet nearly 2 miles thick. Officially, it is a continent dedicated to peace and science, protected by international treaty, a symbol of global cooperation. This is the story we are told. A story of ice, penguins, and courageous scientists braving the elements in the name of knowledge. But what if this pristine image, this carefully crafted narrative of emptiness, is just a cover? What if the crushing pressure of all that ice is hiding something profound? A secret so monumental it could not only rewrite human history, but redefine our very place in the universe. For decades, whispers and rumors have echoed from the frozen south. Strange anomalies detected from space. Classified military missions that ended in mystery and silence. Unsettling discoveries that defy all conventional explanation. Why are commercial flights forbidden from flying over the Antarctic continent? What was the true purpose of Operation High Jump, the largest military expedition to Antarctica in history, which arrived with warships and aircraft carriers just after World War II? The official answers are mundane: weather, navigation, logistical challenges. But for a growing number of independent researchers, former military personnel, and whistleblowers, these explanations are wearing thin. They point to a pattern of secrecy and misdirection, suggesting that beneath the ice lies a truth that world powers will do anything to protect. So, the question remains: what is really being hidden under the Antarctic ice? Our investigation begins with what we can see, with anomalies so stark they cannot be dismissed. For years, satellite images have captured something baffling in the Ellsworth mountain range. Perfectly shaped, four-sided pyramids. One of these structures is a colossal 2 kilometers square at its base, a scale that rivals, and even surpasses, the Great Pyramid of Giza. Geologists are quick to offer a natural explanation. They call them nunataks, mountain peaks that protrude from the ice, sculpted by centuries of wind and erosion into pyramidal shapes. It's a plausible theory, a neat and tidy explanation. But is it the correct one? The symmetry of these structures is unervingly precise. The four sides are too uniform, the peak too sharp, to be the mere product of random natural forces. Could these be the weathered remains of an ancient, unknown architecture, a testament to a civilization that existed when Antarctica was not a frozen wasteland, but a green and temperate land? The idea seems preposterous until we look at the maps. This is the Piri Reis map, compiled in 1513 by a Turkish admiral. For centuries, it has been a source of intense debate among historians and cartographers. The map shows the coasts of South America and Africa with astonishing accuracy. But it's the bottom portion of the map that is truly paradigm-shattering. It depicts a landmass extending from the southern tip of South America, a coastline that bears a striking resemblance to the coast of Queen Maud Land in Antarctica. Here's the problem. The subglacial coastline of Antarctica was completely unknown in 1513. It was only mapped in the 20th century using modern ice-penetrating radar. And most shockingly, the Piri Reis map depicts this landmass not as a continent of ice, but as a temperate land with rivers and forests. Piri Reis himself noted that he compiled the map from numerous older source maps, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great. Could these ancient cartographers have had access to knowledge from a forgotten age? Knowledge of a time when Antarctica was ice-free. This brings us to a discovery buried so deep, it was found not with eyes, but with gravity. In 2006, NASA satellites detected something of immense scale hidden beneath the ice of a region known as Wilkes Land. It's called a mass concentration, or MASCON, a massive gravitational anomaly indicating a colossal object of incredibly dense material. This object is located in the center of a crater more than 300 miles wide. The prevailing scientific theory is that this is the impact site of a Permit-killer asteroid, perhaps the one responsible for the Permian-Triassic extinction event 250 million years ago. But there are other, more unsettling interpretations of the data. The circular shape is almost perfectly symmetrical. The object at its center is so large and dense that its exact composition remains a mystery. Some independent analysts suggest the gravitational signature is not consistent with a mere metallic asteroid core. They speculate it could be an enormous artificial structure, perhaps a buried city or a massive power source that has been dormant for eons. The fact that this anomaly sits directly underneath one of the thickest parts of the East Antarctic ice sheet makes direct investigation nearly impossible. It is a secret shielded by a mile of ice and an official explanation that, while plausible, leaves many questions unanswered. These anomalies, pyramids, maps, and gravitational mysteries are the first layer of the onion. As we peel back the next, we move from physical evidence to a theory that is both fantastic and terrifying: the idea of a lost civilization. Atlantis, the legend of a lost, advanced civilization, famously described by the Greek philosopher Plato, has captivated the human imagination for millennia. For most, it is a myth, a cautionary tale. But what if it were real? And what if we've been looking for it in all the wrong places? The theory of Earth crust displacement, famously championed by Charles Hapgood and endorsed by Albert Einstein, proposes that the entire crust of the Earth can sometimes shift in a rapid, catastrophic event. According to this theory, around 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, such a shift occurred. A continent that was once located in a more temperate latitude was violently moved to the South Pole, where it flash froze, preserving whatever was on it, including, perhaps, the advanced civilization of Atlantis. This isn't just wild speculation. This timeline, around 9,600 BC, aligns perfectly with Plato's account of when Atlantis was destroyed. It would explain how an ancient, ice-free Antarctica could have been mapped, and it would mean that beneath the ice, a city of unimaginable technological prowess lies in a perfect state of preservation. For a long time, the idea of life under the ice was considered impossible. Then came the discovery of Lake Vostok. Buried 2.5 miles beneath the Russian Vostok Station, this is one of the largest lakes in the world. It has been sealed off from the rest of the planet for at least 15 million years. When Russian scientists finally drilled deep enough to sample the waters, what they found was astounding. They discovered a complex ecosystem of thousands of species of bacteria, microbes, and even fungi, all thriving in total darkness and extreme pressure. It proved that life can exist in the most hostile environments imaginable. If microbial life can survive, sealed off for millions of years, what else could? This discovery added a new layer of intrigue to another anomaly detected at Lake Vostok, a powerful magnetic anomaly located at the lake's southern tip. This anomaly is unexplained by natural geology. Could it be a metallic structure? The ruins of a city on the lake's ancient shore? The secrecy surrounding the Vostok drilling project has only fueled these speculations. Even on the surface, Antarctica is giving up its secrets. Scientists have found fossils of tropical forests, dinosaurs, and mammals, proving that this continent was once a warm, thriving ecosystem. These finds confirm that this landmass was not always a frozen waste. These anomalies, from gravity signatures and buried lakes to ancient maps and impossible pyramids, paint a picture of a profound mystery. But the ancient past is not the only secret Antarctica holds. As we move into the modern era, the mystery shifts from what is under the ice to who has been on it and why. From buried lakes, our story shifts to another mystery, not of geology, but of geopolitics. In the mid-20th century, Antarctica suddenly became a geopolitical stage. Just after World War II, a silent race began. Dozens of nations suddenly rushed to the frozen continent, establishing bases with frantic speed. The most famous of these was Operation High Jump, launched by the United States in 1946. Led by the legendary Admiral Richard E. Byrd, this was the largest Antarctic expedition in history. Over 4,700 men, 13 warships, and an aircraft carrier. The official purpose: military training in frigid conditions and equipment testing. But its enormous scale raised questions. The mission, scheduled to last 6 months, was suddenly terminated after just 8 weeks. The official report stated its objectives were met, but many historians argue the hasty withdrawal, along with losses of aircraft, was due to unexpectedly harsh weather. However, this abrupt end inadvertently created fertile ground for countless theories. For decades, fringe stories were woven. They suggested Admiral Byrd encountered something else, a mysterious force. These tales evolved into modern myths of secret bases, advanced technology, or even entrances to a hollow Earth. But as we examine the historical record, where is the line between fact and fiction? In truth, most of these sensational stories collapse under scrutiny. The supposed secret diary of Admiral Byrd, describing a lush green valley, has been proven to be a hoax, written decades after his death. The shocking interviews were found to be mistranslated or wildly exaggerated. What Operation High Jump truly found was not a mysterious enemy, but a harsh reality: that humanity was small against the power of Antarctica. The legend of Admiral Byrd wasn't about a secret war. It was about the beginning of a new era. An era where Antarctica was internationalized, not for war, but for science. But this leads to a final, greater mystery, one happening right now. We have journeyed from buried pyramids to ancient maps and wartime myths. These theories, however compelling, remain largely outside verifiable fact. But the greatest mystery now is not what is hidden, but what is being revealed. Antarctica's ice sheet, the faithful keeper of ancient secrets, is finally melting. Climate change is doing what no expedition could. It is revealing the lost continent, meter by meter. What will we find as the permafrost recedes? Just rocks and fossils, confirming the history we already know? Or will we find the undeniable trace of a lost world? A ruin? A structure? Proof that we were not the first? The answers are coming, and this time, they won't come from conspiracies or fake diaries. They will come from the ice itself. The ice is melting, and the truth, whatever it may be, will not remain buried forever.